Hi, this is Nancy. I wanted to do a basic 101 video on air dry clay in molds. I get a lot of questions on how to use it, how to get it to not stick, if there's any tricks or tips. And yes, I have them. So first thing I wanted to show you was this is the clay that I use. It's called Jovi, and it's available here in the United States. I have a link in my bio, and you can go, and it comes in two colors, white or gray, and it also comes in two sizes. I buy it in the 2-pound size because I go through so much, but it also comes in 1 pound, which is nice. If you don't use a lot, it won't harden up on you. So I already have one opened. I store it in a plastic bag when I'm not using it. I just wrap it up real tight, get all the air out of the bag, and if it starts to harden up a little bit, I put it in the refrigerator, and if it still doesn't soften up for you, you can take a damp paper towel and wrap your piece in that, put it back into the plastic, and put it in the refrigerator, and it will soften up for you. So this is a piece I've already gotten started with, and these are LaBlanche molds that I'll be working with. Obviously, you can use it on any molds you like. And there's two things I do, two tricks that I do to keep it from sticking. So typically in molds like this that are wide open and not incredibly detailed, I just put a very light dusting of cornstarch. So I always have it sitting here at the table. I take some on a brush and lightly dust it in there. And this will keep the clay from sticking to the silicone mold. I've seen other people say they use baby powder, or others say they use oil, but I just find this works for me. So I just take a piece off and work it a little bit so it's soft and start pressing it in. So this mold is not incredibly detailed, and it will come out just fine with using a little bit of the cornstarch. You want to press it in well to not leave any empty spaces. I press it down firmly, and then I like to use a large palette knife like this, and I just scrape lightly off the top. So I take a little bit off and then keep pressing it down. These molds are nice because they have an extra little lip on them, if you can see that. And that way, if you get some on the other side, you can just scrape it out. But it gives a nice definition to the mold. So you just want to make sure you don't have too much. You're going to make it as flat as you can. I've seen some people take a roller and roll across it. You can certainly do that. And if you have a little bit of a low spot, push it, take a little bit more, push it in. So what I do is I turn it upside down, and I just start at one end and start peeling it back and lightly pull it out, but gravity normally helps take it right out. And then I just take my fingers and push it out. And there's your mold. I guess you would call it your molding. I like to call them embellishments. Now, as it dries, you can get a little bit of cracking. And if that happens, I come back after it's dry and I just take a little piece of clay and a little bit of glue, and I'll just push it into the crack, wherever that is. Some people have said if you take a damp paper towel and lay it over top and it dries slowly. That will help keep it moist and you won't get as much cracking. But with my style, I like the aged look, so it doesn't bother me if I get a little bit of cracking. Okay, so there you have that. Now next, if we take a mold that has a little bit more detail, like right here, this would probably stick when it comes out, and it's so tight in here, it's hard to get out. So my trick for this is to put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes. You don't need to put any cornstarch in at all, because this will freeze. And as soon as you take it out of the freezer, you just take it out and you won't have any sticking. And you want to let it thaw out first before you start putting paint or glue on it. So the first time I tried it, I took it out frozen, put the glue on it, and the glue froze. So I wasn't able, it just froze solid right onto the frozen mold. So I was able to peel it right off, and I waited until the mold, the clay defrosted a little bit, and then added the glue, and it was fine. So you can put it on your project. And by the way, I didn't say that. I would apply this to my project right now. So I would put glue on the back. You can use whatever kind of glue you want. A hobby glue, express glue, almost anything. I apply it especially to the edges. You don't need a ton of glue. And then I put it on my project and keep looking all the way around, make sure it's pressed down really well. And I let it dry on the project. And then I come back and paint it once it's dry. You can paint it when it's wet. There's some products that, like say you're going to do a dry brush, so you'll paint it like a dark gray, and then you'll come back with some white. That's not going to react well. You're going to want to wait till it's dry to do that kind of a treatment to it. And just want to look at your mold, and just sort of common sense tells you that these little blue pieces here need to be showing. So you want to make sure you scrape away all the extra clay there. So see how you can see it now better. So again, I just take my palette knife. I like to have it nice and smooth. The other nice thing about using clay as opposed to resin is because it's flexible like this, you can bend it around a project. So say I was going to use this as a hinge for a book or a box, you could put it on here and you could glue it like that. And it will stay like that. And you can't do that with resin because it dries hard pretty quickly. All right, so this looks pretty good. And I'm going to put it into the freezer, and then I'll come back in about 20 minutes and show you how easy it is to take out. Okay, this has been in the freezer for about 20 minutes, and when I take it out, I just slowly peel back the sides, the outer edges first. You can push it up from the bottom and just peel it back so the whole outside is now loosened. Just give it a little press from underneath in the center like this because it's a big mold. And then same as before, I just turn it upside down and peel it back. And just go slowly. And I'm just using my fingers. And you could come from the other way as well. And take your time. And there you go. Now, like I said, this is frozen solid. If you were to put glue on the back right away, it would totally freeze up on you. So just wait a few minutes and you'll feel it start to thaw out a little bit. When it thaws, it will be totally flexible, just like this one here. So you'll be able to bend it around whatever you want to do. So let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully this helps you and you give it a try because it's very easy. The clay is very affordable, and it's a great way to make the molds and to practice. If you mess up, this will thaw like the original. It'll feel just like the original clay. Just smash it all up again and give it another shot if it didn't work the first time. But just practice a little bit and you'll become good at it. So let me know if you have any questions. And again, in my link, I have links for the molds, for the clay, and lots of other products that you might find interesting. So thanks for watching. Bye.